Dolly Jean. I know that Scientologists are against drugs and medicines in general, but was curious about their stance on drinking alcohol. I understand you're not supposed to drink before session or while on the Purif, but is it considered okay to drink recreationally at all? Also, what about smoking? From what I hear, there are a lot of Scientologists who smoke, including David Miscavige, so wouldn't they see that as hypocritical, as it is a type of drug too? There are no prohibitions on drinking or smoking in any level of Scientology, and a lot of Scientologists drink and smoke. Sea Org members get totally drunk off their ass a couple times a year when they have parties. In December, there's the Christmas party, and there's the Bosun's party. And these are celebrated for their drunken revelry. Also, there's Sea Org Day, and some people will drink on Sea Org Day, which I think is in September. So no prohibitions on that. The thing about auditing is you can't drink within 24 hours of going in session because it's supposed to mess with it's supposed to mentally impair you. And so you wouldn't have as good of a session if you're hungover or something like that. And that kind of makes sense in terms of, psychological counseling or something. But nobody cares about smoking. And in fact, there's even a lecture Hubbard gave at St. Hill back in the 60s where he talked about nicotine being beneficial to you and something that was good for you even. So he said the anti-smoking guys have it all backwards. So Scientologists will just take that kind of stuff and run with it. And when smoking became, I think it was in the 80s and 90s, at least as far as my awareness goes, when smoking became really, started to be looked at as a harmful thing, and all the ads started coming out, and all that kind of stuff. Scientologists responded to that by, taking better care of themselves. But that didn't have anything to do with Scientology. That had to do with, public relations campaigns against smoking because it's bad for you. And Scientologists generally do care about their health, and they generally do get involved in a lot of woo regarding health. You'll see Scientologists who will get into all kinds of food fads and diet fads and health fads constantly. There were constantly health fads going through the base, the Sea Org base where I was posted. I mean, the raw meat diet and the paleo diet and I can't even remember all the different things that they would do, trying to live better and live a healthier life, take care of their bodies. Because there's nothing wrong with taking care of your body, and Scientologists want to be healthy just like anybody else. As far as it being hypocritical, they don't really see it that way because alcohol and smoking are considered sort of lower class drugs. I mean, they'll admit, yeah, sure, that's a drug. Okay, yeah, nicotine is a drug and alcohol is a drug, but it doesn't have any really lasting harmful effects unless you're an alcoholic or a smokeaholic. So this is what they would say, right? And so they don't really see the issue with it versus, say, pot, coke, meth, heroin, LSD. I mean, that's, now you're getting into real serious levels of drugs, right? And they're not going to get involved in those. So there's it's kind of arbitrary. It's sort of, opinionated, but that's kind of how they think of those things.